So just a preface for this episode, I do have a sore throat, so sorry about that, guys. You're going to have to suffer through it. You are listening to another episode of Aspiring for More. I'm Lewis, and today we are talking with Kyle and Dre, two comedians in Erie, Pennsylvania. They have really been taking this culture of comedy and driving it forward for Erie, and now they're moving on to bigger and better things. So this podcast, not so much business analytical side, more passion, creativity, what they do, why they do what they do, how you can be just as passionate and driven in whatever you do. So definitely listen to these two guys as they kind of go off talking about what it is that comedy is and how they embrace it in Erie and what's next for them. Look forward to seeing you guys in the main content. Before we get started, I want to get a little bit of an in-depth dive on who you guys are, what got you into the whole comedy scene, and we're going to talk about the comedy scene in Erie in general. So I don't know which one wants to start, but give us just the first brief rundown, who you are, what you do, so people listening can find out.
All right, well, I'm Kyle Harris, and I've been doing comedy locally, on the stage for about 2 years now. I've been funny my whole life, or people at least tell me that. So yeah, I've been on stages for the past 2 months, performed at a bunch of different spots locally. The comedy scene in Erie is relatively new, so I'm just trying to see how far I could take this.
Yeah, and feel like you're taking it pretty far.
Oh yeah. I've been I'm just persistent. Anything I do, I just always just try to go as hard as I possibly can. So take it on one stage at a time. That's how I feel like comedy is. Just like each stage you perform on, you're one step closer to getting to a bigger stage. If you're doing it properly. I've seen people stay in the same spot for 10 years.
It can happen. Everyone can get in a rut. Even with this podcast, there's plenty of times where I just feel like, oh my gosh, why? What am I not doing? That's the next thing. How do I keep making myself better? But that's super important for sure. Now, Dre, you got in the same time, the comedy game. You've been doing it also your whole life. Tell me a little bit about how you got in.
Not really. Kyle got in first. Him and a buddy of mine, Dorian, RLP Dorian.
Rest in peace.
Passed away, definitely. He was part of this.
For sure.
And like we said, I met Kyle through household roasts we used to have, Facebook battles, just, going back and forth. And he was in, doing what he did, open for Eddie Griffin, he's been a lot of places, and, he gave me the invite. I took the baton and, I ran with it, it's just what I've always done. It's what everywhere I go, it's what I can find the funniest thing out of the worst situation. It's just it's like a gift,
Yeah.
And it was a blessing, he gave me the opportunity and the chance. I thank him every chance I can get. I did a couple shows, my first show was crazy.
Yeah.
Jam-packed.
Talk about that a little bit.
It was I really didn't know what to expect for real.
Okay. Your first show, you're fresh, you're on stage.
Over what was it, 400 people there?
Yeah, over 400 people came.
Packed wall to wall.
They came to see me,
Right.
Now, do you thrive on that kind of pressure, or is that something that kind of because I know some people, they're like that, the crowd gets them going.
I love it.
It's the crowd energy. I rock off the energy.
Mm-hmm.
My crowd control is crazy. It's just be still out there, y'all. Just take it easy. The crowd is very important. It's just, I got a comedy, it's like a festival / tournament coming up in New York the first week of May. So, I feel as though I'm ready. I'm battle tested,
Oh, you're ready. You're ready.
Yeah.
I ain't, show me my opponent. I'm ready.
Now, I feel like after a show with 400 people, that would kind of season you pretty quickly.
First show, first time ever doing it.
And where was that at? Was it in Erie?
At the
Avalon?
Yep.
Okay.
First time ever doing it. It was crazy.
And you're saying that the Erie scene for comedy is still pretty new, growing.
But they're catching on to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think something like comedy is so late to Erie? You know what I mean? I feel like that's something anybody can get connected with.
One, to do comedy, you have to have the environment to do comedy. And if there's no microphone and no crowd and no venue, there's no comedy. There's just people like me and Dre telling jokes in the living room.
Gotcha.
The living room or
you know, and I'm telling jokes in the living room, telling jokes in the club, telling jokes in the back seat,
Right.
telling, you know, and then it's like, give me a damn microphone and I could do something bigger.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, they had the first open mic in Erie. And like it was me and this other black guy that were like the only black demographic on stage. And like, it made it, to me, I always try to like do things for the culture of Erie. Like, because anytime I do something, I want to see more black people involved. So I was just thinking like, no offense to the white comics, but I was just thinking like, damn, these guys suck. Like, I was like, I need some more people on stage that I could relate to. And like, after I got off stage, my first thought was like, you know, let me hit up Dorian, let me hit up Dre, let me tell some of the people that I know that are funny, like, yo, you get on stage and you get the crowd laughing, there's money to be made behind this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this game has unlimited amounts of money if you make it there. But like, you're not gonna make it there just telling jokes in the back seat and telling jokes in the living room. You know, get that microphone in your hand and do your thing. And like, you know, that's why I'm really proud of Dre, because like, how many times did I inbox you like, man, get on stage, get on stage, and then
it was just kept for years. It was just kept the same thing, and I just used, well, I'm gonna go. I got you. All right, I got you.
Now, what do you think for you was that holding you back from just being like, okay, I'll get on stage?
I don't really like. It was just like the comedy scene, like he said, in Erie was just. It was just like, oh,
it was non-existent.
Like, I see.
Yeah.
You
know?
So it was just like, why would I do it? No one like. And then the first time you do, boom, 400 people.
Right, because like my first time on stage, like it was at Juniors, and it was packed in there. Like it was packed wall to wall. It was just an open mic. When I walked into Juniors, the woman was like, "Are you Kyle Harris?" She was like, "People have been calling here all day to see if you're really performing." Because they thought it was a joke. Because I posted on Facebook, I was joking. Then I get to Juniors, it's packed wall to wall. I think it was like 15 comedians. Probably 3 of us were good. I'm watching people bomb back to back to back to back. I'm watching people that I could tell were like, they learned how to be funny off of like a funny book, like Being Funny for Dummies, and people who study their jokes. And I was just thinking like, man, I know more people that are naturally funny that would kill this show, but they're just not getting up there because the culture of Erie isn't comedy.
Yeah.
You know, the culture of Erie is hourly wage and jail. Like,
yeah, it's horrible.
Like,
but it's like everywhere you go is, tell me a joke.
Tell you a joke.
I really don't have a joke to tell you.
So I won't be asking that then. I'll cross that off to ask.
I really don't like have a joke. Like I don't know about like how other people go about the situation, but I just go on stage. I just go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Half the time I get up stage,
like I don't have nothing scripted. Like I don't be the dude in my phone, and no, I'm amongst the people in the crowd, you know,
right?
Because it's just everyday life to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And then when you get up there and you say something scripted, you got to remember what you had. What if you forget? I see people forget all the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, he had that wrote down.
Oh, I didn't know what I was gonna say. Now you're done.
Gotcha.
That's like once that first couple jokes and you grab the crowd, now you just, you know, just rocking with the crowd energy. If you get up there off in that little first,
right.
It's
you're like, you got this light on you, you got all these eyes on you. You got to be able to have their attention. Like you got to be able to like.
That's the biggest thing. I would say like, if you don't have, I could be the funniest person in the world. If I can't grasp your attention, it's your joke's gonna fall on deaf ears.
Yeah.
And you might as well not even said it.
Gotcha.
But to keep people's attention nowadays, where people are on their phone and people have ADHD and ADD and people ain't taking their meds and like, you gotta. It's really like an art to keep someone's attention.
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy.
It's like you got to be up to date on your current events.
Ooh,
like you got to know what's going on to hold people attention. Like you can't get up there and tell a joke about what the O.J. Simpson case.
Right.
It's not relevant right now. That's not relevant right now.
Yeah.
No.
You got to go up there and feed off something that's going on right now.
Right.
Like I did a couple shows with a couple of older comedians, and it was like, ooh, Them like Coming to America jokes.
Yeah.
We're on Bad Boys 3 now. Like,
Right.
that ain't gonna cut it right there.
Now, how do you seem to stay fixed in the culture? How do you get that? Like, how do you stay on top of that?
Like
social media for me.
Okay.
Because people put their all and everything on social media. So you can sit back and look at social media and feed off of that.
Right.
Oh, this is, to me, it's just social media.
Right.
Gotcha.
I realize like I always have a different outlook on life than a lot of people. Like everything's funny to me always. Like
Everything.
like there's been moments where I'll even think like maybe there's something wrong with me. I'll be at a funeral and like I'll see somebody wearing something weird or something and I'll be cracking up inside. And like I feel like all I have is like humor. Like everything's always just funny to me.
Yeah.
It's either funny or I don't give a fuck. Like there's no in between.
There's no line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's funny to me. Like everybody that when I come around, they be like, Dre always thinks something is funny, man. It is.
Yeah.
Man.
And people always tell me like that's not funny.
Yes,
it is
yes,
funny.
It is. It's funny.
And you almost need to keep that attitude, like especially today.
Right.
Like if you're not able to see the funny side in things, like what are you even doing?
Right.
Like, there's so much crap that people like, so much negativity people try to push that if you can't just be like, okay, that's just funny.
Right. And there's been like so many comedians I've been around and like, we ride together, we go out to eat together, we do things together. And I'll be thinking like, you're not funny.
Yeah.
Like I just had an hour lunch with you and I didn't laugh one time. But you're on stage trying to pursue comedy. Maybe you should pursue being a Walmart greeter or something.
That just happened at that little show we had. Them two dudes was like,
you met him and you could tell like, oh, you're corny in real life.
like you're actually like seriously lame. Like
yeah,
you're gonna get up here and try to
make me laugh. If I think you're lame, I'm not gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, intro says everything. Like,
right.
Definitely in a comedy scene. Like your vibe and aura is like
yeah. Yeah.
It's a dip. Now listen, it's a difference in being funny and being goofy.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Goofy don't get it.
No.
You gotta be funny.
Yeah.
Goofy gonna get you laughed at. Funny is gonna make them laugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's
It's
a big
difference.
distinction.
A lot of people I see get up there are goofy.
Yeah.
Or they're like Waterford funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Northeast. You're funny amongst that little 60 people, or you might be funny in that trailer park or wherever. No, you got to be able to reach all the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you bring your Waterford funniness to the Avalon and get on stage, it's like, no, we don't know what you're talking about.
And
Right.
that can be hard because, I mean, I feel like a lot of people have a different idea of what funny is.
Yeah.
Event, you have to stay up. You got to stay alive.
Right.
Exactly.
And you have to know your crowd.
You definitely got to
do the
look
research.
at your. I can get in front of anybody. I ain't
Right.
racist. All white crowd. We did it before.
Right.
All black crowd. I know what's going on in y'all world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can talk about the priests and all this other goofy shit y'all got going on.
Right.
Or I can relate and talk about the drug dealers, whatever's going on in slums and projects, all that type of stuff.
Right.
You feel
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Right. I have jokes for the
gotta be
users
able
and
to-
the dealers.
Right. You got to be able to. A lot of people can't do that.
No.
They get in front of a all black crowd and be, I was on my tractor. That ain't coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crowd could tell when you're not genuine. And when you're not genuine, they're not going to believe your story. They don't believe your story, they're not going to laugh at you. You know,
And you got to get up there and not give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care how. I'm finna talk about y'all. This what y'all came for. A lot of people get up there and play. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm finna talk about anybody sitting out here that I feel free. I'm gonna talk about him.
Right.
I came with him. I'm gonna talk about him. Anybody.
Nobody gets a pass.
No, this is what this is.
Yeah.
A lot of people get up there and just tell one of their good
Well,
jokes, and then they stuck. No, get the crowd. Once I feel like my story is getting to it, I'm gonna get y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was laughing too loud and shouldn't have been, or
Yeah.
somebody got something on that they shouldn't have on, or
Right.
something going on out there
Right.
that you can feed off until you build up that story.
Gotcha.
Then you can get back to the story. But you got to be able to feed off the crowd. A lot of people really can't feed, or they be scared to feed off the crowd. You can't care. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it.
And honestly, any event, like comedy event that I go to, whenever the comedian or the person on stage really interjects with the crowd and like calls someone out, that's the funniest part of the that's what makes the show for me.
You know why it's funny? Because you tell it's organic.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when somebody farts in the room and you just start cracking up, like, because nobody planned on farting when they walked in the room.
Yeah.
But it's so organic and natural. It's like accidents are always way more funnier than something that's scripted.
And it makes me feel like this show was made for this group.
Yeah.
Personal. Yeah, because there's no way you can script that guy's sitting there and he's going to laugh and sound like a pig. Like, you can't do that.
It's like going to a strip club. You see the stripper on stage dancing on the pole. Okay, stripper on stage dancing on the pole. When she gets off the pole and comes over and sits on your lap, you're like, oh, this is for me. You know, this is my show.
You gotta find the victim.
You
gotta find the person that everybody see. Like when I before the show, I'm in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting amongst the masses. You know, people are definitely scared.
I'm listening to what people are saying when they're coming in.
Talking about, girl, you see that right there? Okay, I'm gonna talk about her when I get there. I'm going to talk about with the crowd when you got to move the crowd. You definitely have to move the crowd.
For sure. You need to be able to do that. Now, I kind of want to go back to the creative process. So the both of you seem like it's like there's very little preparation of writing anything out. It's just you're working the crowd. But then you also see like big name comics like Jerry Seinfeld, Kevin Hart. They'll spend years writing their scripts.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously they're doing hour-long shows. They're in front of hundreds of thousands of people, Netflix specials. How do you see like there is an eventual point where that needs to happen, or is it just everyone's a little different?
I do actually write, but like I never just sit down and write.
Okay.
When I get to that point, I will.
I'll be okay. Like for example, I was at Hammett. My nephew was just born, so my brother-in-law is happy celebrating. So he pops a bottle of Moet in the hospital room, the champagne, and lights a cigarette in the hospital room. And it was the funniest shit ever. It's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Right.
And then I started writing in my phone,
So logging things.
Yeah. So then I'm figuring out how can I make this situation a bigger, funnier story. So when I get on stage and I could be like, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, I'll accumulate funny shit throughout the day.
Yeah.
You never know when it's going to happen. And I just write it in my phone. And then if I find a way to put it all together, then I release it as a funny story.
Gotcha.
Some of my stories are 10 stories combined.
I don't know what it is with me. It's like, I ain't ready to write yet.
Okay. You're not ready to write yet. That's interesting.
I'm loaded. Like it's a lot of stories that I tell right now that I get on stage that happened when I was 13. I'm 37. So I still got 24 more years worth of stories before I feel I need to sit down and be like, I just seen this. No, I don't. No,
You've got it
like,
the backlog.
I'm ready to go to this little tournament and this might be 3 or 4 rounds.
Right.
I still don't need to write. I feel as though I don't need to write because I'm at my best like that. Like I'm telling you, the scripted is nervous. That's like a play in school.
Right.
Gotcha.
You
want that raw feeling of like,
that's what I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to feast on this crowd that I don't know because I ain't scared and y'all came for comedy and this is what this is. This is what this is and this is where I'm going to get my energy from y'all. If I don't say nothing about y'all, it's going to be like I'm reading a book to y'all with a couple funny parts in it.
Yeah. Might as well just put on a movie for them to watch.
All of that.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is like, it's live. Like,
right. Like I would never go to a play, but I'd go to a comedy show.
Right.
Even if it was I went to a funny play and it wasn't funny just because I'm like, oh, this is all scripted.
Oh, yeah.
Like I want to feel that naturalness, that like make it personal.
Exactly. Now, as a comedian, I feel like there's a lot in the area of self-promotion. You need to be able to sell yourself because that's how you get jobs. Aside from just being really funny and getting jobs, what do you think are some ways that you can promote yourself to be more attractive to a potential like booker of talent or something like that?
Well, the main thing that will get you through life is comedy. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to come with good energy. If you're a piece of shit, nobody's going to want to work with you. Nobody's going to want to hire you on the show. Nobody's even going to want you around. And that's with anything. You know?
Yeah. You've got to have that energy.
Yeah. Like, no, you could be Allen Iverson. You're not showing up to practice. Oh, you're not playing. Like, you got to be a good person.
Yeah.
And, like, anytime I do a comedy show or I'm involved in a comedy show, I always try to, like, just have good vibes with everyone, congratulate everyone, talk to as many people as I can. You know, the person that's standing by the door might be the booker to the club, but you would have never knew that because you were too busy laughing at his shoes. You know, maybe get to know him before you laugh at his shoes, you know? Like, that's, I feel like good vibes have got me to where I'm at.
Gotcha.
Like that's
just a lot of personality.
Yeah. And, you know, interact with people as much as possible. Like, when you post a status, people know that some funny shit's going to be said on Facebook. Yeah. Like, when you announced you were doing comedy, nobody was ever like, oh, Dre, I'm surprised.
Everybody's like, I'm coming.
They're like, oh, Dre's doing comedy? Yeah. Dre's been funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to his comedy show. Oh, Kyle's doing comedy? Kyle's been funny. I'm going to his comedy show. It's not like nobody ever knew us for being funny in Erie. And my goal is to get people outside of Erie to be like, oh, Kyle's funny? I want to see him. Oh, Dre's funny? I want to see him. Like,
yeah.
I did a show in Vegas in March, and like I had no idea what to expect when I got on stage. I'm like, you know, the crowd was predominantly Mexican. In Erie, I don't really interact with a lot of Mexicans. I'm like, damn, I wonder how it's going to go. Best show I ever had. Those people came to laugh. They had a good time. Afterwards, they wanted to take pictures with me. And I was like, okay, this is all about just riding the good vibes. Like, when people pay to go to a comedy show, they're paying to walk into a room of good vibes.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you want.
Yeah.
You go in, you laugh, you leave. That's all. If it's shitty outside that door and you're like, oh, once I walk through that door, I could enjoy myself, I'll pay $50 to enjoy myself.
Yeah, it's an escape.
Yeah, because the world is shitty.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's just like, you know, definitely just, it's your vibes. It's how you carry yourself. It's how you present yourself, definitely, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, because I know for me personally, like, it's kind of like resume building almost, but like as a personal brand. So I know a lot of people, they choose to use like social media. They do a lot of stuff like that. Do you guys like to capitalize? Okay.
Yeah, I was suspended on Twitter like 5 times.
Ooh.
Like, I
feel like they suspend anybody though.
Yeah, like I started my Twitter in 2012. I made my account Kyle Got Jokes, and I got up to 30,000 followers in a few months.
Dang.
And like, I was just tweeting, you know, just having, everything was funny. But then out of nowhere, stuff that was funny just became not funny anymore. You know, like in 2012, they actually had something, it was a meme called the Rape Sloth. And it was a sloth that would have jokes captioned, and it would be like, do you watch cartoons? Because I'm going to be dragging these balls across your face. And it was called the Rape Sloth. And it would go viral.
On Twitter?
Twitter, Facebook,
wow.
Instagram. If you Google Rape Sloth right now, it'll come up. And people would laugh at it. If you mention the word Rape Sloth in 2020, first of all, do you know anyone that's ever been raped by a sloth? No, I don't even, is that even a thing? No.
I don't know how those two words work, but okay.
If you were to make something called Rape Sloth in 2020, everybody would be offended.
Yeah.
It's not funny. Nothing's funny about rape in 2020. 2012, it was funny.
Yeah. And a lot of things change like that though. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where you're saying you've got to be on top of the culture. Because if you go on stage and make a joke about it, that's done. You're done.
Right.
Going back to, like you were saying, your childhood before this, what were you guys doing before you stepped on stage and started doing comedy? What was life like?
I'll let you go first.
Well, living life. We just gonna say living life. Like, I don't know. Like, I've always been a comedian.
Gotcha.
There's no way around it.
Just what you were born to do.
From as far back as I can remember, 4th grade, you're gonna be a class clown. 5th grade, class clown.
That's my whole story.
I was never the jock. I was never the dean's list. I was the class clown in every situation.
Always.
Since 4th, 5th grade, coming in the classroom. No, Mr. Funny Guy is going to have something to say. I've always been the funny guy.
Right.
You know?
That's just been it. That's your identity.
I was the funny guy when being the funny guy wasn't popular.
When it wasn't popular.
Like,
it was funny. Like,
when 50 Cent dropped Get Rich or Die Trying and everybody was wearing beaters and wanted to be thugs, I was the funny guy. When
never changed.
When Michael Jackson was moonwalking, I was the funny kid. Like, to me, being funny was, like, that was my way of being accepted. Because when, you know, I grew up poor as fuck. Like, I grew up in the projects. All my clothes were hand-me-downs. All my shoes were not name brand. I didn't have nothing. Yeah. So I would come to school. Like, I started off at Grover Cleveland. I came to school. That's like a predominantly white school. They're so friendly. It was like Sesame Street. And then I came to Glenwood. And then I'm walking in. It's my first day of school. I got some BKs on. I don't know if you know the BK sneakers, British Knights. So I come into school. I got some BKs on. They like, look at his shoes. I'm like, damn. They like, oh. So I'm getting roasted bad. And I'm thinking like, damn, like, okay, I got something for your ass. Like, so then, and then like, the more people would come for me, like, I thrive off of that negative energy. Like, when I walk in a room and when somebody has something bad to say about me, oh, you're going to get the fully loaded clip. Ask anybody. I'm normally a nice guy. But if you're coming at me with the insults, oh, man, you're going to bring me into a creative mode I didn't even know existed. And, like, once you get used to, like, okay, I'm sitting with the cool kids at the lunch table. They all got Jordans on. They all got FUBU on. They all got Nike on. I'm over here, holes in my shirt. But you know what I got? I got the jokes. And nobody wants to come for the dude with the jokes. You might have Nike on head to toe, but I know your mom's a crackhead. And I got crackhead jokes. So you don't even want to bother me.
It's like, I'm going to keep it real with you. Like, I've been doing this like for so long and I'm so seasoned. Like, I think I only got caned for about 2 or 3 times. Like, listen, I don't play no games. Like, no, listen, I'm very, very, like, I will get you. Like, I will talk about you. Because I know a lot of things that people look like. Like, I watch TV and just be like, right. You look like that one girl, and you look like that one girl. Like, I know a lot, like, you know.
Yeah, you've got so much.
It's just, I
feel like natural things that
and
people...
they know. Like, when I get on stage, they know. Like, I get a certain look, like I can talk to them, and
I feel like natural things that people overlook.
Don't.
I notice.
Yeah, like, I notice a lot of
like,
things.
Like, you ever see a fat person walking and they're going like this and they're like untucking their shirt as they're walking?
Yeah.
You've seen it. A lot of people don't notice that. I notice it. And as I see you walking towards me, I'm writing 1,000 jokes in my head about you're untucking yourself as you walk and how you gotta wrestle your way to sit inside of a car because you can't just fit in it normally. And like, I'm paying attention. I'm writing jokes in my head. So then the moment you look at me and you're like, Kyle, you got a hole in your sweatpants. Then I'm like, oh, let me give you the whole clip that I've been writing all day.
Gotcha.
And like, that's what makes on the spot. Like, you can't write them type of moments. No. You can't prepackage those.
Situational comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it seems like a lot of what you guys have now is forged from those childhoods of just growing up and just being that.
It's just like childhood's so rough. You really gotta to smile to keep from crying. And you known as being that person in the house. I can't bring nothing to the table. I can make you smile.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always taught laughter is the best medicine. You live longer when you laugh. It takes more muscles to frown than to do to smile. So it's just like, dang, man. There's no better feeling than being that light when you enter the room.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
You know, that's like right now I'm going through a little situation or whatever I'm going through. But I knew that coming with Kyle and I knew that the vibe down here was just going to help me, you know?
Yeah.
It's about the vibes. It's the vibes that you know you're going to get.
Right.
Yeah, it's that emotional high you get when when you can just like forget everything and just be so focused on what's going on. Mm-hmm. It's a great feeling.
I'll have bad days and I'll be like, you know what? At least I get on the mic tonight. When I get on that mic, I could just if something's bothering me, it's bothering me because I'm not talking about it. As soon as I turn it into a joke, like I remember,
and I'm going to.
I remember I was dealing with this chick. I was dealing with this chick, and she was cheating on me with a 50-year-old.
Ooh, wow.
So I'm over here like, this shit's eating me up inside. I'm like, damn, how could she do that to me? Blah blah blah. So then I get on stage and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I found out my girl was cheating on me with a senior citizen. I said, I finally found out where she was getting all these Rockaware purses from. Mm-hmm. And then everybody started laughing. And then I'm like, yeah, I was wondering whose cane that was in the bedroom. Like, yeah. And then it's like, you just keep, and then once everybody starts laughing, and then it's like, oh, fuck it. Like, I don't care about that shit no more. Yeah. But like, before I talk about it, my mind would just be like, damn, like that's fucked up. Once a room full of people are laughing at something, I don't care about it no more.
You just kind of like
it's like therapy to me. Yeah. Once I release it, once I tell you about it, I don't care about it. If I'm not talking to you about it, it's eating me up.
Now, you both obviously have a very keen eye for picking up on things, and that's what makes you be able to write jokes and tell jokes. This podcast is very much dedicated to talking about the local Erie community and kind of like the surrounding areas. What do you think, from your professional eye, do you think are like some unique things about Erie that you would like to see changed in the next couple of years?
Wow. Where do I start?
Can we start with the potholes?
Yeah, that's these streets.
Yeah, you can go as literal as
streets.
No, it's just I don't know. It's just.
What would I want to see in Erie in the next few years?
Yeah, changing
wrong things though. Like I don't know. Like it's weird. Like why y'all keep putting up all these hotels around every corner? Like it's other things y'all could be doing with that.
Yeah, I don't. And I feel like Erie is controlled by a bunch of old men, and they're like, we're gonna turn this town into a nursing home, because like the things that they spend money on, I'm like, you really gave a fuck about the Boston store's clock working that you just spent? That they just spent $100,000 fixing the clock at the Boston store.
That ain't worked since I don't think I've ever seen it work.
They spent $100,000 so that clock could go ding at 5 o'clock. That's all it does. It's a clock. That's all it is.
Just buy like a timer.
That's
like I don't think I've ever looked up at the clock.
When's the last time you looked at something?
Yeah, what time is it?
Let me see what my sundial says.
Yeah, like come on, man.
No, but like $100,000 into that clock, they could have put another basketball court up, or they they could have put something better. They could have put something better in the neighborhood.
Put that into that high school up there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Erie
got to do something with that high school.
Meanwhile, Erie High has 100,000 kids packed in there. Like that school's not made to have that many people in there.
No.
A classroom got all them damn people. No, but you can't learn when there's 50 people in a classroom. Like, but they're like, oh, we got to make sure that this clock works. Gotcha. Like, and that's the stuff that makes me feel like old people run Erie. Like maybe if there was like a 20-year-old that's like, oh, you know what?
Relevant.
How about we put the casino?
Comes back to the same thing.
How about we put the casino on the lake to bring business to the lake? And how about we put that library where the casino is? It's 2020. Who's really going to the library for information?
Man, Google do everything.
Exactly.
Although, have you been to the library down there?
Oh, I'm down there all the time. It's the homeless headquarters. That's why it's dope.
Like, I mean, the 3D printers.
Oh, yeah.
Geez,
that's dope.
That
they got nice equipment.
That's dope.
Yeah.
But that library doesn't need to be on the lake.
No, you don't need
the casino could be on the lake. The casino, that could open up a lot of job opportunities.
Yeah.
Or like Splash Lagoon. Way the fuck out there. Why don't you put Splash Lagoon where the Sheridan is?
Yeah.
And it like...
just a few... You just see like a lot of like missed opportunities pretty much. Yeah, like this could have been done a little bit better.
A whole bunch of hotels on the lake. Like, come on.
We got 8 hotels down there.
On the lake. Yeah.
And it's like $1 or $2 difference for each one. $1.25 over here, $1.23 over here. 126 over here. Come on.
Yeah. So if you're from out of town, you come to Erie, you stay in the hotel.
By the cold lake if it's the winter.
And then you drive 8 miles to Splash Lagoon. Like, well, I was in Splash Lagoon by the lake. Like,
hey, It's a good question.
Yeah.
So what's next for you guys? I know you were talking about you moving to Vegas.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm moving out there March 20th.
Okay. And it's like you had this one show out there, it went well, you got other stuff.
I performed a few times out there.
Okay.
And the opportunity opened up where I'll actually be able to move out there rent free.
Really?
So
Okay.
if you give me a place to live for free, that's where I'm going to be at. And there's a lot more opportunity out there. You know, in Vegas, I could perform 10 times a day.
Yeah,
like,
easily.
And Erie limits how much I could do. And like my goal is I want to create a bridge from Vegas to Erie. Because like, you know, people always say like, oh, you know, you won't make it out of Erie doing this. You won't make it out of Erie doing it. If somebody makes it out of Erie and could hold the door open for other people, then other people could leave Erie.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it takes is one person.
You don't even have to leave Erie. You can do that and come and give back so that the community allows people to stay and thrive.
Exactly.
And that's
I want to give hope to people that they could be like, oh, okay, you know, like, oh, like he moved out there and he's doing good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I could move out there. I could move to Atlanta and do my rap career.
Exactly.
Because, you know, like I look at a lot of the rappers in Erie, or I'm not even gonna say rappers, I'm gonna say entertainers.
Okay.
They're scared to leave the city.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think Erie is such like a behind the times type of place where people don't like change.
Oh, for sure.
You know, like if your mom's a Walmart greeter, then like when you grow up, you could be a Walmart greeter. And then like, or like, you know, your dad was a drug dealer, or like I want to be a drug dealer. Like, oh, the only guy I ever seen in an Escalade was a drug dealer. So that means the only way I could be in an Escalade is to sell drugs. When in reality, no. You could get in an Escalade doing 1,000.
Yeah.
There's other ways to make money. So, like, I just want to try to change the culture so people could be like, you know what, it's okay leaving Erie. You know, if you're a stripper, why are you stripping at Juliet's? Go to Cleveland and strip. Go to Magic City and strip. Go to King of Diamonds and strip. You a rapper? Like, go to Atlanta. Go to somewhere where the music culture's thriving.
Yeah.
All the places I've been to in my life, the comedy culture is thriving in Vegas. It's a comedy club.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's a comedy club on every block.
Wow.
I was at the Laugh Factory. There was a show at 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, sold out, sold out, sold out. Like,
yeah.
That's the place where you want to do comedy at.
Yeah, and you need to be able to have those places because, like, that's a whole different type of person. Like you were saying, did a show and there was a bunch of Mexican people there.
Yeah.
You're not used to that, but that helps refine you, get better and better.
Sharpens my skills. Like, I drove to Pittsburgh to do a show. I drove to Pittsburgh to get on stage for 3 minutes, and then I drove back to Erie. I didn't get paid. I went to Pittsburgh, did a show for 3 minutes, came back to Erie. That's the story of a comedian in Erie. Like, where you say you about to do a show at?
In New York, in Ithaca, New York.
Yeah. Like, if you're from Erie and you want to do comedy, you got to travel.
For sure.
Comedian is a traveling sport, period. You know, that's just something you're going to travel. But, like, I would rather live somewhere where I know I could see 10 stages and, you know, in an Uber distance compared to, because I know a lot of comedians who are like, oh, I did a show in Pittsburgh, did a show in New York, did a show in New Jersey, did a show. And it's just like, what is that really getting you?
Yeah. Are you just running in a circle? And especially you go to somewhere like Vegas and just the medium income goes up of the type of people you're talking to. The type, like they're able to pay you because there's so much money to go around.
Right.
It just makes that so much easier.
You can perform 10 times a day at the same club and it'll be a different crowd all day long.
Exactly. And it's impossible not to take that opportunity.
Right. Right. And worst case scenario, I come back to Erie.
Yeah.
Like,
you can always come back to Erie. Hopefully the comedy culture will be a little bit better advanced at that point.
Right. But I feel like Erie, like, name something that was going on in Erie 2 years ago that's not going on now. Like, Erie doesn't really change too much.
No.
Like,
it's comfortable.
In 2 years, it's still going to
be the safest city in Pennsylvania.
In 2025, it's going to be a gang of people standing in front of Moe's It's gonna be an after hour
be the same
spot.
thing, yeah.
It's gonna be a club that's open till 3, 4 a.m.
Mighty Fines still gonna be.
Mighty Fines will always be here.
They'll be open
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah, they still there around.
You know what? They're turning McDonald's into a shopping center on State Street. Like, come on.
Well, right now it's curling, so
Yeah, curling. Is that an old people sport?
it must be.
What is
That's,
that?
I think
That
it's
thing
not like
with the ice?
shuffleboard.
Yeah, it's like where you like brush it and then you like throw the big.
Yeah. What 20-year-old thought of that? No, it was some 90-year-old with $1 billion. Like, oh, I'm gonna turn that into curling. Like, oh,
So it seems like a lot of it, like you guys see Erie as like it's not going to change. No,
I've been here long enough to see that.
Yeah, you just gotta.
It's gotten worse.
It's a stepping stool for real.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
I've been doing what I've been doing for so long, so I got enough support to push me to the next level, and they're gonna come with me to the next level. I believe it, like no doubt about it. Like I got a crazy buzz. It's just like it's up to me for real.
Right, like
And it's up to me. Like he's going to Vegas. I'm gonna do the tournament in New York. You know, I'm confident. I'm good. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
And I only get better the better my opponent is. You like I'm as good as
Right.
my challenge. Like I'm nice. Like I don't care. Can't nobody beat me.
Right.
Definitely
It's
I'm
good
gonna be seeing,
mindset.
I'm gonna be listening to y'all like I'm a savage. I'm a savage, like for real.
It's like
I'll
boxing
get
for
you.
real.
And it's like, and it ain't really for me. Like I'm trying to pay way for my kids. Like, and my kids is everything. See, it's a lot of people up here that are just doing it because they're bored.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking for a way. Like I'm looking for a way. Like I'm dream chasing. Like this is serious to me, you know. And I know I can do it because I've been doing it.
Right.
You've got that fire.
Everywhere
that's
I
gonna
go,
keep
they
pushing.
know. Like they know. Like,
Dre, you got the natural talent. Like, I feel like in 2 years, I'm gonna call Dre like, oh, I'm living in Atlanta right now. I'm shutting the comedy scene down here. I'm living like your comedy is so much bigger than Erie.
Yeah.
Like
everybody tells me that.
Yeah,
Like, I
you
send
know
my
it.
videos to Atlanta. Like I'm done. Like I've conquered Erie. Like there's nothing here.
there's nothing
for me.
else to do.
My first show, 400 people. This is great for a comedy show. This is cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. I know what I can do somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I got these same 400 people. They're coming.
Right.
Yeah.
If I
You
book a
got
show
them.
right now in Harrisburg, or if I book a show in North Carolina, they're coming.
And who else does the city have to look up to? Who are the role models of Erie?
I'm gonna hold the torch. Like I'm gonna hold the torch. I'm gonna keep y'all laughing. I'm always gonna come back, whatever the case may be. Like I said, I'm dream chasing.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And
This is what I'm doing. Like I love it. There's nothing I
That's
love
awesome.
doing more. So why would I give up on it? And it's like I don't gotta do nothing extra. I just do what I do.
get on the microphone and be yourself.
I ain't shy. I been stopped
all.
being shy. Kids and girls is shy. I'm a grown man. Let me see that microphone
Right.
You're ready to go.
Right.
You're
right
fired
now.
up. Yeah.
I feel like when the microphone's in front of me, that's when I'm as Kyle as possible.
Mm.
Like, you know, I go to work and I have to be an employee. And then I'm around my kids and I got to be a dad. And I got to be, and you know, the speed limit says 25 miles an hour. You got to do 25 miles an hour. When that microphone's in my hand, it's whatever the fuck I want it to be.
Ooh,
You know,
that's
and
good.
like, where else do you get that opportunity at? You don't.
No.
Nope.
I
Like,
get to say what I want about whoever I want to say it
Right.
about right now.
and I
Like,
can't, I
right
can't
now.
get suspended. You know?
Yeah.
I could talk about my boss. I could talk about my mom. I could talk
Right.
about you. I could talk about anything that I ever felt I need to get it off my chest. You creeps, I can say it.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a
Like
pass,
it's cool.
yeah.
Like it's cool. Like it's just, you know. And like I said, my man gave me the opportunity. Like he gave me the opportunity. Like, and I took it and I ran. Like, and I'm definitely grinding. I'm on my way. Like,
Yeah. Sounds like
I
it.
already know. Like it's
Right.
my YouTube page, jump my IG. I just got that back going. Like I'm around. Like I'm getting looks. Like
Those
it's-
are all stepping
they-
stones.
They talking. My name is getting said in other places. I got family here, and they talking like, yeah, we seen your YouTube page. Like my people's got a club. They talking like that's how you gotta, you know,
Right.
You've got to be connected.
gotta be. Connected.
So what's
Like,
next? What would you say is next after New York? You're just kind of waiting to see what happens, or
I'm going to Vegas. I'm gonna go check my man out.
you guys gonna?
I was already thinking that.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go check my man out. I ain't done with anywhere that I go in this, like, and I believe in my heart of hearts that I can go far. Whether he make it first or if I make it first, I'm coming to take him because I wouldn't be
Yeah.
here for one for him.
That's the same way I feel about Dre.
I wouldn't be
Like,
here for one for him. I would still be one of them guys in front of Mo's telling jokes. I would still be one of them. Like honestly, like in the household at my sister's house or at somebody else's house, telling jokes at the family reunions and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know.
Right.
It was that push.
But now I get to bless other people with my talent and my gift, like, and I'm ready, like,
Right.
you know.
And I feel like, you know, don't get it wrong. It's not that I hate Erie. I love Erie.
Mm-hmm.
I love Erie so much that I'm willing to sacrifice myself and move out of town and try to make it so somebody else could come out there. You know, and if in 5 years Dre's 1,000 times bigger than I ever was, that would mean a lot to me because I could be like,
yeah,
he made it out of Erie. I want to see when people make it out of Erie. What do they make it out of Erie for? Football?
Yeah,
wrestling.
What else? What else besides football?
Not too much.
Nah.
Nothing.
Not that I'm
like,
thinking of. Yeah,
there's nothing. Like I want to see somebody who made it out of Erie and be like, you know that one famous comedian on Netflix? Oh, he's from Erie. And people be like, wait, he's from Erie? I'm gonna do comedy.
Yeah.
You see your favorite
being that example.
You see your favorite comedian driving a Lambo, you're gonna be like, shit, let me get on stage.
Telling you. And it's
you know? The role models in Erie are trash. Not all of them, but most of them. Well, for our culture, you know.
Yeah.
There's the Scott Enterprise guys who, you know, they're rich off of the Erie culture. But like, as far as black culture goes in Erie, what, like, you know, who's the last person from Erie that was really successful that you could be like, oh, that's who I want to be?
Oh no! See, I don't really think I like really. I don't really know if I got them type of thoughts. That's a little deep. But like, I don't know. Like, I really ain't concerned about all that.
Yeah.
Like, I know this wave that we ride right now is the wave.
Right.
It's the wave.
That's it.
I know it's the wave, and I'm always gonna come back. And I know some guys that's real funny to me. And if I'm funny to y'all, the people that's funny to me has got to be funny to y'all.
I know you already have a list of people you want to see on stage.
I got like 4 or 5 people that I got to get on stage.
See?
Like, they're great, I'm telling you. Like, them people everywhere telling me I'm great. What about the people that I think is great?
Right.
They're funny to me, that make me laugh. Because I know some people that bring me to my knees every time I see them. And they just need the opportunity. And I gotta help them.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, seems like what you were saying. Like, he gave you an opportunity. How do you give to somebody else?
The same way. You just got to keep passing the torch.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You see how he did his little Erie thing. He conquered the little Erie thing, whatever he did. Now he's on to Vegas. Now I'm the up and coming. I got a crazy buzz right now. I'm finna conquer this. I'm moving on to the New York. I'm set. I'm ready for whatever they set in front of me. Whatever they set in front of me. And I'm going to Vegas.
Right.
I'm ready for Vegas. I know I'm ready for this. I'm built for this. Like, right now, we could get on a plane right now and go to Vegas right now. As soon as we get off, we could have a show in 10 minutes.
I swear.
And I'm going to rock the crowd in front of people I never met before because I'm like, that's just my vibe.
That's how I was in Pittsburgh. I did a comedy competition in Pittsburgh about close to 2 years ago. My sister's car broke down on the way to the show. So it's 7:30. We're like 20 minutes away from Pittsburgh. I call the host like, hey, I'm going to be a little late, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like looking at my sister like, man, the truck's going to take like a half hour to come pick us up, the tow truck.
Yeah.
I hopped in an Uber. I called an Uber, had an Uber come get me, took me to the show. The show started at 8. I got there at like 8:15. I come up to the host like, I'm all out of breath. I hopped out the car. I'm like, when do I get on stage? She's like, right now. I literally went from being in an Uber to being on stage. Yeah. And like,
right now.
I didn't have no time to prepare. Like, I was literally on stage. My nose was still red because it was cold outside. I'm literally, and like, that's how ready I am for this. You know, like, I feel like you present that microphone to me and I'm gonna bless the microphone. And like, I'm not scared. If you tell me it's a comedy show 1,000 miles away,
I'm ready.
All right, well, I got to figure out how to get there.
I'm ready.
Yeah, and like I have that drive. Like I don't want to be the guy in Erie who's like, I've been doing comedy for 15 years, and their biggest accomplishment is based on transmissions or the Avalon or you know, like
I already did. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm coming. They know I'm coming.
Yeah, and I think the great thing about this podcast, because it's right after the one I did with Kenny and Aaron, and like what I see in that podcast is the same thing I see here. Is like, you guys are just so set on this is it. Like, this is like, and that's what which one was it? That was Kenny was saying it. He was saying that he doesn't see like anything else other than just the matter of time it takes to get to where he's going.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like, he knows like it's here I am. this is where I'm supposed to be. It's like it's already written. It's just what is it going to take?
Yeah, I actually I hosted an event for Kenny a couple years ago at PACA.
Okay.
And I got to see him perform. And he's an amazing artist. You know, like I know him through real life before I knew him as the artist.
Yeah.
He got on stage and the way the crowd was vibing with him. And I'm like, this dude really has potential.
Yeah.
And like, I seen it. You know, some people you look at him and you could just be like, okay, I see this guy going somewhere. And some people you look at him and you're like, okay, you're going to be running in a circle for the next 10 years. You know, when I looked at him, I could tell like Kenny's definitely polished. I could see him making it. You know, from the moment I met Dre, I'm like, this dude got skills. Like,
yeah,
you know,
people you want to keep around.
Yeah, like our friend Dorian, rest in peace. Like Dorian was somebody. He's probably one of the most creative people I've ever known. Those skits that he put on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm like, yo, this man has a type of creativity that you don't even see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he be doing some crazy.
You know, the older you get, it's like the older you get, the less creative you get.
Yeah.
And like he had the creativity of almost like a child almost. Like the stuff that he would imagine would stimulate me. And me and Dorian would feed off each other's energy. Like I remember when we opened for Eddie Griffin and he went before I went. And when he got on stage and he started making, because it was 1,000 people at that show.
Jeez.
When he got on stage and he got off and he came over to me and I'm like, how was it? And he's like, man, that was the best feeling ever. And I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to get up there. And then I got up there and I did my thing. And then I got off and like me and Dorian looked at him. He was like, yo, we really just opened for Eddie Griffin. Like this man's a legend, you know, Hollywood, multi-millions. And we opened for him. Like, and that's when I was like, you know what? Like, these moments right here are the moments that gas your tank up to give you the drive to go further. You know, like you remember at Laughs on the Lake when you got on stage and the microphone wasn't even loud, and it's like 400. We didn't expect as many people to show up that did, and people are like, "Shh, I can't hear." When 400 something people want to hear what you got to say. That right there shows that you're worthy of something.
Yeah.
You know? And those moments are like, okay, I'm about to move here and I'm gonna try and I'm gonna make it. And I don't care. I don't care if I gotta sleep outside. I don't care if I gotta sleep in a comedy club.
I'm grinding.
I've lived in Erie for 33 years. You can't present nothing. You can't present anything worse to me that I've experienced 20 below zero.
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm ready.
But no, yeah, I mean, and that was another thing that I had talked about with some other people is collaboration and how important that is. You guys obviously seem to be able to collaborate with other people, but also know when there's competition. Like that fine line, I think, is also something really hard to like. Who is on your side? Who are you working with? And also, who's the competition? You know what I mean?
When I think of the competition here, I think of anything that could potentially stop me from making it to Vegas. Like I don't look at anyone like people always want me to like have competition with Dre or like you know what
I don't know how to do that. That ain't what I'm here for.
And it's like people don't understand. I'm like, why can't we both make it?
Yeah.
Why can't I feel like together you have a better chance of making if Dre made it to Hollywood next week, I could look at my phone and be like, okay, I know somebody that lives in Hollywood that could potentially get me on stage.
Yeah.
You know, right now, I don't know anyone that lives in Hollywood, so I can't get on stage in Hollywood. But, and you know, it's like, you stick together. You could, if I had a team of 5 comedians right now, and we were like, all right, look, we're all going to go to different cities. We're all going to go hard. Somebody's going to make it. And all you need is one person to put you on. Like Kevin Hart has his Plastic Cup Boys. Or is that what they're called? I think they're called the Plastic Cup Boys. It's like 5 dudes from Philly. You know Kevin Hart's from Philly?
Yeah.
He got on. You know who he has open for him at his shows? His guys from Philly. Are they the funniest comedians? Not to me. But they're performing in front of 30,000 people.
Yeah. They're in front of Kevin Hart. Like they got his name attached.
They're getting checks from 30,000 people. Their Instagram is booming with followers because they're affiliated with someone. And like, I'm the type where like, if I'm not the captain of the ship, I want to just be on the ship.
And that word comes from
And
collaboration.
I'll go wherever the captain goes. Right. And that's why, like, I'll never have no beef with no one from Erie when it comes to comedy, because I want to see somebody from Erie make it out. I would love to. I would love to type in Dre Jenkins net worth and $10 million pops up as comedian. Okay, Dre, let me do a show out there. You know, like, yeah.
It only helps.
Right. If I'm beefing with everybody and there's just me, I can only go as far as I could take me.
That's a good point.
And you know, like you really have to come together. That's why I don't get caught up in no dumb stuff, no beef, no drama. The only competition I have is myself. You know, and
that's a good way to look at it, though. That you almost need to.
Right.
Now, with the podcast coming closer towards the end, I want you guys to have the opportunity to kind of give some plugs. Where can people find you? Maybe the next show, Instagram, social media, stuff like that.
Man, I feel unprofessional as hell because I have another show coming up. I don't remember. It's at a Bison Beer Hall. I think it's this Friday.
This Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. But you can follow me on Instagram, Kyle Got Jokes with a Z on the end. You know, on Facebook, Kyle Harris. On Twitter, if my account's not suspended by the time this is aired, Kyle Got Jokes 2. The sequel. And yeah, that's about it.
That's about it for you?
Yep.
How about you, sir?
Well, you know, everybody knows I'm Facebook king, man. I'm social media out of there, man. I'm Andre Jenkins on Facebook. Dre Jenkins 4 on Instagram, you know. My next show, I'm just going to do a lot of open mics for real. I call open mics, I call them like target practice.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
Just sharpen my blade to get myself prepared for this tournament in New York, and that's what I'm really going to eat. Like, that's just, you know, what I'm doing. So, you know, I'm going to be dealing with Kyle, you know, probably Thursday, every other Thursday, whatever, at the attic. Just, you know, just sharpening my blade, getting ready, because that's that's my next little buffet right there. That's my next, that's next on my menu right there. And then, you know, I'm gonna let my man go to Vegas and pave the way, and I'm gonna do just like I did here. It's all about patience. I'm gonna just wait my turn.
Well, awesome. Hey guys, it was amazing to have you guys on the podcast today. Look forward to editing this and getting it out to all the people listening. But thank you just for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And there you are. That's a wrap. Another episode done. Thank you guys so much for coming to this point and listening to this full interview. Kyle and Dre were amazing. They had some great insight talking about Erie and the city and what they'd like to see, what's next for them, and actually their idea that maybe they don't think Erie may grow somewhere bigger. It's something different than what I've had on the podcast, and I love hearing the different perspectives of people who are in the city doing big things, and these guys definitely are, and I can't wait to see what's next. Again, thanks to Cam for the great studio. If you or anyone you know would like to start a podcast, check out Cam. Guys, thank you so much. Like, rate, review. If you want to be on the podcast, let me know. If you want to have an ad on the podcast, let me know. I'm open to all that. But thank you guys so much for listening and for putting up with my sore throat.